supervisor. Depending on what we have learned here during my 10 weeks, I try to compare the pig farming systems from here to what we are doing back to our countries. And what I decided to come up with, it's like back to our countries, it's not modernized. As a result, I tried to do research about modernizing pig farming systems in school to foster sustainable school feeding program, a case study of Rusizi district, Rwanda. Presentation outline, I'll start with introduction, why modern pig farming systems, aims and objectives, methodology, findings, recommendations, conclusion, and differences. Introduction. To minimize chronic disease and environmental impact, new research proposes adequate nutrition. It's what we are lacking, especially in sub-Saharan countries. So schools feeding is still facing the problem of fixing meal diversity, and they are not properly using available resources. So this project intends to modernize pig farming systems in schools to reduce wastage of crop residue, maximize the use of school land, and foster balanced diet, because most of the students in day schools depend much on lunch. Why modern pig farming systems? Pigs are quick and easy to graze at low cost, following 10 to 12 piglets. Even at the Harper, I saw that they can even go to 20 piglets for a sow. It also has high kill-out percentage to more than 72%. Pork is a source of zinc and selenium, B12 vitamin, and B6, which is vital for our immune system. To advocate pig welfare and try to appreciate the 5 freedoms of animals, because back in our country we are not fully appreciating these freedoms. Learners will be exposed to animal welfare tips because they will be tomorrow advocates. To mean pig farming system, I wish it could be introduced among the subject to be taught in curriculums, so that I may kill the 2 birds using 1 stone. Good source of manure with more than 12 essential nutrients for plants. To achieve meal diversity policy at school, because children, most of them depend on lunch. If the project is well implemented, I wish to bequeath 1 piglet to students from low economic social status, so that they may continue to improve their livelihood after education. Aims and objectives for my study. The aim, I tried to investigate why pig farming systems are not modernized in schools as an alternative way to engage students to learn and acquire and implement what they have learned. Objective, to compare the current performance of land when pig systems are incorporated and model the way to the community. To identify the pros and the cons of incorporating pig farming systems, to determine what is required to implement pig farming systems in schools for pork provision. Methodologies, what I used to collect different research data. This project was done in 5-day schools located in Rusizi. What I did is like comparative study as secondary research data. I also used sticky informant interview with school leaders about the pros and cons and what is required to properly implement pig farming system that is modernized. The findings, Pig farming systems can be sustained and improved, but people lack knowledge. It's a basic challenge that is facing pig farming systems back to our countries because people are not having enough knowledge about how to handle them. On the land usage, I compared the way Harper and the other field visit we took, how they use the land. I found that we are not properly using the land. There is also poor breed. Most of our countries back home, they depend much on the local breeds. They don't want to use advanced modern breeds. Poor feeding techniques and even poor biosecurity. They don't know how to properly secure the animals. As a result, from key informant interviews, why modern pig farming is not achieved, I strongly adding that they lack knowledge because most of the interviewers said that, most of the interviewees said that they lack knowledge. That's why from the knowledge I took from here, I will go back and implement through different ways. Recommendations: previous work experience, education, and age, length of the operation has positive impact on profitability. It's among of the researchers that has been said that the knowledge, the experience, skills can have a great impact on what you are going to do, especially in terms of profitability. Keeping costs to minimum through improvisation. I will try to improvise some of the pig feeds related to the environment so that we may minimize the cost. Because most of our farmers back, they depend much on the market. When they are going to sell, to buy pig feed, they depend much on the market. So I will try to introduce like some of the feed that can lower the cost. Pork to be included in school feeding. To me, the Ministry of Education of Rwanda is recommending schools to include pork among school meal. Constant advocacy about the 5 freedoms of animals to students and to the community. To me, I'll create also awareness about the use of advanced modern pig farming systems through implementation of artificial insemination to improve pig breeds, genes, and reduce stress, and sometimes it reduces spread of disease. Conclusion: the application of improved pig farming experiences, proper care and health feeding, proper management depending on regions criteria will make pig farming more modern and profitable at low cost and at the right time. It will faster to achieve meal diversity. A good pig breed and well managed will generate a net profit of between $100 to $500 after a half year of rearing. References for further readings. I'm really appreciative of what you did. Thank you.
Brilliant.